Well, that is a great start. Both players break very good. They pop the one ball in the side pocket a lot of times, and he's got a good look at the two ball. Passes the 9, the 4 balls over the pocket. Everything looks good here, and this, well, there's no way better to settle yourself down than winning the opening rack.
Carl, I have to ask you this question. It was only just under an hour ago that Max Lechner rose to that enormous high by winning his semi-final. Now he's got to do it all over again. Is that an advantage, the fact he's still in stroke, still warm? Or has Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz got the advantage because he's had a break between matches?
I think it probably comes down to the person. Me personally, I'd prefer to have the break. Other players maybe just want to get on with it. Max looks a fit young man, doesn't he? Obviously goes to the gym. I think a good thing for Max and probably Francisco is Francisco's very close to Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda's won big tournaments. Max is close to Albin. Albin's won big tournaments. So they've got good sidemen there, haven't they? They've got guys who know how to win.
And Jeremy, 19 years ago, you were in this final and you won it. I bet this brings back some very warm, golden memories.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't doubt if we see a real high-class match by both guys. I don't think it's a disadvantage for Max, considering how the last match started. You know, he got to end on a real big high. Didn't really have time to think about those mistakes so much. Maybe if he gets back, he tries to process, you know, a little more mechanics, and that's not what you want to do right before the final, right? So, you know, I think both guys are in a good spot as far as the break, and one of them having a break and one of them not. Now, like Carl said, to settle you, super nice break off there to start. That's a confidence building thing as the match moves, but a nice clearance here on a pretty routine table, but nothing routine in the U.S. Open final.
The last two racks Max Lechner has played have been a study in contrast.
You get a lot of information when you're kicking and everything's right there in your vision. Get a good feel. And usually in the U.S. Open, you're going to have one guy that plays really good, and sometimes both. But it's usually not the type of match where both players kind of stumble. Nice hit, left a tester.
Another thing that's making this final so memorable, not just the players, but the crowd really into it. Full house, not a ticket to be had.
Well, the camera sure will fool you. He's looking to play this in the corner, and he thinks he can get past the side, which I would have to go with his thoughts. I'm not at the table, but it does look touchy. Wow, it's a different Max Lechner to start here than we saw in the semifinal.
The bridge a little restricted because of the side cushion. Hence the first glaring mistake of the final. A potential momentum turner.
Yeah, it was one of them. He's played it probably a 2-0 upshot. I thought maybe he could have just maybe cinched it in and just held the centre of the table. Just leave yourself a shot on the 8. You didn't need to get back up there.
I mean, he really can't play safe here, right? He's just got to pocket the ball and play safe on the 4, I guess. Oh, that's a lot of control.
Small sample size, but for me, that's his best shot of the match so far.
Yeah, you think that's easy. Try doing that from half that distance, let alone on the rail with the cue ball.
Well, Max has gone airborne. 3 balls going over towards the top left as he fluked it. I think he has. Wow, what a timely one that is. You cannot beat a little bit of luck.
And he would be the first to admit that against Koping Chung he had plenty of luck.
And he still all of a sudden doesn't look as settled as he did just moments ago, but ball's in the upper left-hand corner. Or 3 balls, rather.
Good shot, that. Good pace. Good line.
Now, does he go for the make? I think he does on the jump shot because he's drawn to the side rail anyways. And it's hard to hang it from there. So you figured the 2 to escape. If he does miss it,
Extension called.
a little bit of a backdoor safety. Now, he was trying to line up like pushing the cue ball off the 2 at the 9. And that's not normally how you would shoot a jump like this unless you had to play position that way or something. You're not going to try and go forward with the cue ball very often. I think he maybe should just concentrate and buckle down on this 2 ball.
Yeah, I think he just walked round and had a nosy, but I believe he's going to play the shot you first described, this little draw shot into this corner rail.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, indeed, the pendulum swings. Jumping. 2. Then the 9 went in.
Both players have took. On paper, you could make a case for Sanchez. He's been a little harder. 9 balls close. 9 balls close. 9 ball is close. This is just incredible.
What a turn of events in this match for US Open Gold. We've seen the first golden break. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz back on level terms spectacularly at 3-3.
That's the shot, no?
I don't think he's doing that.
Well, I can't believe that's the shot, JJ.
That looked like a scratch the entire way.
Well, it's his turn for a bit of fortune, but we're not going to begrudge him that. But I was with you, JJ. Just a little overcut.
Man, I swear he loses the cue ball if he makes it.
Fortune favours the brave, but there, it also favoured the inaccurate. That was poor.
Extension called.
Yeah, it's one thing. We all get nervous physically, even a little jitters, a little handshake in the back. But you can't lose the brain, right? That's the one you really need to have intact in these big moments. Usually you'll settle the arm down one way or another, but
Do you think because Sanchez has been a little bit fortunate in the last 2 racks, maybe he thought, I'm going to go for it?
yeah, it takes a heavy dose of that for me to change a whole lot, you know, really. But I have done that before where I play safe and they kick out of it all day long, right? So it gets you a little more like, is this going to work? Now, big shot, I like his chances here because he gets to unload on the stroke. It's not a delicate hit right between the 8 and the 4 and back across, or 8 and 5, excuse me.
Yeah, that was a bit nervy.
Yeah, he keeps, Max, when he's playing well, he kind of leaves the cue out there in like a finished position. And if you notice, he's kind of getting hitty. The cue's kind of retracting back and just a little off with the timing.
Yeah, and that shot there, this one, I think the likes of Filler and Shane, they play them shots so good.
Slide, because he usually doesn't baby these too much, right? He's got a nice stroke on the ball. Opens the pocket up a little bit.
There must be a little part of you, JJ, that's pulling for Max. That would give Europe 2 rookies. You gotta like that.
Well, if it wasn't it would be a U.S. Open winner. So I mean, it'd be a rookie, but I mean a rookie that's in good form, you would say.
Yeah, but the Mosconi, all the fans, it's going to be loud in Vegas, I'm sure. The American fans are really going to bring it this year. They did in 2019. 2019 was loud.
Yeah, probably the best I'd ever been to be honest with you. And Alexander Palace is a special place, don't get me wrong, but 2019 was, and 18 was pretty incredible too. Those are winning years. Last year was pretty incredible.
The jump escape from Lechner failed. This is the consequence. Sanchez Ruiz going ahead for the second time.
Francisco Sanchez Ruiz wins a rack.
6-5 it is. Knew he'd been a little clumsy on that one.
Extension call.
Yeah, he had a similar shot against Ko that he hit a little thick. But it is landing nice and naturally to go up and down the table. Now it looks like he's knocking it away.
Do you remember the 3-ball that FSR missed into this top left-hand pocket as we're looking at the table? If you catch that near jaw, they won't go.
Yeah, I think first of all he was going to play it with an open bridge. Personally, I prefer the open bridge. You can see more of the cue ball and the edge of the ball, and I think when you use the loop bridge, it just makes sighting the ball a little more difficult.
Yeah, certain shots for me, but I'm a big fan of the closed bridge in a lot of places where players use open, but that one right there, where I'm basically rolling the ball with a little aggression, not much English at all, definitely not drawing the ball. I like the open bridge. He's got to kick this lightly, pocket speed, I think. Otherwise, he's really gambling on scratching or not gaining position on the 3.
Foul stroke.
Ooh, it's a bad miss. Because from the centre pocket to the middle diamond where the kitchen line is, you always scratch. Now, on a brand new table, it'll slide a little bit. These players know that. He would have fancied potting the 2, wouldn't he, JJ, there?
The thing here is make a real clear-cut decision what you're going to do. If you want to keep it simple and take a long-distance shot on the 6, makes sense. If you want to go ahead and put a little more into it and come around, that's all right, too. Oh, my. Like I said, it's just a matter if he can really pull the things off, right, and maintain.
I think Carl had the terminology correct when he said the previous positional shot was a shocker, and boy, has he paid for it.
Yeah, to me, you just leave the cue ball on the left rail anywhere, and then you spin the cue ball 4 rails for the 6.
And I agree with you as far as Carl. It's nice to have that confidence, right? Let me make sure I get that shot at the 6. And I think it was Phil and I that discussed, you know, a little similar to Filler, right? Filler doesn't take any chances with the cue ball when it comes to the decision, oh, a little more distance, or do I risk the cue ball? Let me just make sure, and I'll just knock this ball in from a little further away.
Little tester here. It's one of them where we have seen him missed over the years, but he's looking good.
Carl Boyes was right. We have seen them missed over the years. But in recent years, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz misses very little. He's looking good now, isn't he? He's seizing command. He leads 9-6.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is just opening up for Francisco. Max is paying the price for the mistake earlier on.
4 balls off the break. You like that, Jeremy?
Yeah, not bad. FSR will make quick work of these, of course, without getting in too big of a hurry. But
you know, when you look at golf, it's just about winning the major, isn't it? Because they're all millionaires running around driving Ferraris, but pool players are not. So this is big money, this.
well, not only that, the repercussions, you know, the residual from winning the U.S. Open, you win Moscone Cup, and you know, pool's a bit different beast. I think it's changing some, but you know, in other sports they talk about the top 10s and all that, right? Well, pool's really about who won for the most part. You know, you've had that runner-up in the U.S. Open. It's nothing. I mean, it's a great accomplishment. Don't get me wrong. Many would love to have it, but it's not quite like the winning it, right?
No, that is true.
Well, now he's getting thoroughly punished. It looks like this ball's very goofy. Is this cuttable?
Yeah, it's definitely cuttable. And I think it's now or never for Max. He's got to win this rack. Well, that'll work. Wasn't convincing, but it'll work. It's a chance to steady the ship a little bit. Win the rack with the break next.
You would think a run out from here essential. And now Sanchez Ruiz is the one who's feeling aggrieved because he had the chance to turn the screw even tighter.
Max Lechner wins the rack.
Max Lechner stops the rot.
Okay, you got to be clear, like I said before, real clear on what you're doing here.
He's swinging the cue ball round. I thought he could have gone the other way, JJ. I didn't like this shot. I thought he should have gone forward with a bit of left. If you overhit it, you might land on the 7 in the right centre.
I totally agree, and a lot of times, and especially out here on these slick tables, big, important, you know, decisions, situations, whatever you want to call it, it's not what you want to do, it's what really is needed, right? I mean, you're never going to get snookered coming down that side of the table. He caught the 6 a little thick to the pocket, and it cost him.
Boy, has he come with a jump shot there. I didn't like it for 1 minute. It was so difficult. It was the distance. He had to land the cue ball practically on the 7. He nearly scratched, but he didn't. Big shot coming up.
That was spectacular. Now this needs to be steely.
Well, what a rack of 9-ball this one has been from Lechner.
And I'm getting a little deja vu from the last match. He's whatever it takes, it seems.
You have to hand it to Max Lechner. He doesn't know the meaning of defeat, certainly not this week. He refuses to give up the ghost.
Oh no.
Foul stroke.
And just lost a little focus on the hit on the 1.
Yeah, let's have another look at this cue ball. See how it went low?
Yeah, way thin on the 1, and
Start the clock, please.
you could see, well, he still made the 1 in the side, so a lot would ask, well, how was that not any good? Well, you drop it down too low, you're going to get a lot of kisses, and a lot of bad kisses at that.
And because the break was so robust and powerful, the balls have gone everywhere, but they're not to Lechner's benefit. FSR coming back to the table. For him, this is oxygen.
Oh, it nicked it. It did nick it.
Hit it.
Ever so lightly. Wow.
It caught the paint, just the paint.
Quiet down, please.
And then the cue ball traveled some 10 feet around the table. Just a flick of the deuce.
There were some disbelieving members of the audience there until the replay was shown on the big screen.
Yeah, Brendan doesn't miss a trick. And neither does Max Lechner. He's pulled out a beauty. He's trying to keep Sanchez off the hill in this final.
He's got tactical control of this rack and then some. Unprepared to see it wriggle away.
Gotta be quick. That's no good.
Foul stroke. Ball in.
Well, to be fair to FSR, that was a pretty difficult hit. Max
Start the clock,
Lechner
please.
earned that ball in hand there.
Break. Trailing by 11 racks to 10.
Yeah, he's dug deep. He dug deep in the semi-finals. So did Ruiz. But he's had to dig deep here. He was down. He looked a beaten man. That's a better break. Where's the cue ball? Oh, where's the cue ball? That is a horrible time for that to happen. 6 ballers tied up. That's just a quick glance. I don't know if there's an easy knockout ball available.
Yeah, the way the 5 is shootable from some distance, he can shoot the 3 and then open the 6-8 with the 4. And of course, you're always waiting till the end, right? The last moment to break the balls open, which isn't always so advised.
Talk about on the money. On the 6-ball money.
Well, that green 6 is the color of that money, and 50K they're playing for.
Yeah, just flicked it out absolutely perfect. perfect. Took a gamble, didn't he, where he decided to leave it till the 5 ball. The gamble looks like it's paid off. It looks like he's going to be the first player in this final to get to the hill with the break.
It's there. It is there. Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz on the hill.
In this final. 9 ball's moving. It's moving. It is moving, but it's not gone in. But the main thing is he's got a shot at the 2 ball, and there's a combo. 3-5 combo. This is a chance.
Yeah, you can think of a few here and there that you might think, well, you know, you question the out, but I'll tell you, with his year and the way he goes about things, you got to like his chances from here.
I was deprived of the craziest call ever, but he's not going to be deprived, it seems, of this title.
Yeah, the red and the purple ball looks to be dead straight as well, so this is a good chance. That's what you can ask for. Sometimes over the years, players, you just don't get chances. This is a chance to win the US Open. Looked a little shaky.
I was going to say, I think it's more about that 2 ball with the bottom, you know, of the table very clear. This combination, very hard for things to go wrong, producing another shot on the 3, even if you are a little off angle. You know, if you got some congestion down there, it's different.
Every step he takes, he moves closer to pool immortality and scooping the pool here in Atlantic City in so many different ways.
Yeah, this title means the
Extension
most. What Phil's talking about, of course, the Moscone Cup that he made earlier this week. A lot of hard play. Then also moving to the top-ranked player as well. The entire trio, right?
Plus his biggest ever payday. So tantalizingly close now.
Yeah, he's really just got a little angle on the 6, straight in on the 7 to play the 8 in the side. Don't think he would want to move the cue ball a whole lot off the 7, but I don't really think it matters to FSR right now. Whatever it takes.
You've been there, Carl. Right on the verge of victory in these massive matches. The heart must be pounding.
Yeah, I think you're excited. He knows these balls are all just sat there, so it's just hard to see where it goes wrong. You just got to stay still, pop the ball, don't do anything silly. As JJ said, the 8 sat nicely there. He can play the 8 in the side. He can play the 9 in the side. He can go along with the 9. You know, you might be in the final. This might be for the biggest of them all, but you've also got to realise they're over the pocket sometimes, haven't you?
Right. Trust what you see. No adjustments.
That's nicely done. Little kind of stun run through shot, just a little bit, and then we can just roll the cue ball forward, and well, it looks like FSR is finally going to win a big major.
In recent times, Spaniards have won the US Open in golf and tennis. Now, pool. Let the celebrations begin. Viva España in New Jersey. Max Lechner fought so hard to get back into that, but in the end, nothing, no one could deny Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. I said this earlier in the week, I'll say it again. FSR, A-OK in the USA. He wins a first prize of $50,000 US. He's on the table, and he's at the top of the table in terms of the 9-ball rankings. And he's going to make his debut in the Mosconi Cup on the west coast of America at the end of November. Boy, he must be on top of the world, Cowboy.